Ladies and gentlemen, under quarantine, there's a lot of focus on stocks that people use for entertainment and for necessity. Companies like Amazon are sending out much needed things that help humans get by, including food, supplies, and other things that are a necessity to survive this quarantine, while companies like Netflix and others do provide the entertainment value. As most day traders experience, this quarantine is sort of easy to ride the wave. You're still trading from home, and nothing has really changed. However, with all the entertainment industries that required you to drive to, which are now boarded up and closed, what do people do for entertainment beyond watching Netflix or Amazon Prime? There's a little company here that's showing huge signs of potential growth. And I think there's going to be about a 50% move to the upside in the name. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Cue music. Hi. Before we get into anything, kindly pause and read this disclaimer. All right. So the stock that I'm going to talk about today is I'm going to make my due diligence and my research on it, and we're just going to take it from there. So pretty much what happened was there was this company that was traded um, in London. It was an award-winning developer of enterprise, business-to-business internet gambling. I think internet gambling, once it's legalized, is going to explode beyond the casinos. You see, casinos just sort of had a fancy name. If I were to come to you and say, the Sands or the Bellagio or MGM Grand or any of these other known casinos, you would think that, oh, well, they're offering an app in which I can legally gamble on, depending on the state I live in currently, that's someone I could trust. But what's going to happen, in my opinion, is you're going to see internet gambling explode. People still want to get their gambling fix while they're at home. And because much fewer people are going to be traveling to these casinos, even after they reopen, in my opinion, based on quarantine measures and etc., a lot of these people are going to resort to their computers and smartphones and tablets in order to gamble. Now, there is a company here, in which I will reveal shortly. There is a company here in which I feel is, you know, absolutely going to take over this opportunity in internet gambling. Pretty much, this company back in March decided to relocate itself. It relocated from a European stock exchange all the way to the United States of America. Now, what made this stock very interesting was the entire IPO opening. It was priced between 650 and 850 initially. It ended up opening up at $10, then 10.50, then 10.60, and it actually ended up opening up at 10.60. It was completely oversubscribed, and any share allotment was gobbled up in full by the underwriters, meaning a lot of times when these companies come out in public, they offer them a huge chunk of shares if they wanted to buy extra into it, and they bought up everything. Now, what happened here is after they IPO'd, they got initiated with buys at of these three of these analysts out there: B. Riley, FBR analyst, and Craig Hallam. Okay. I think B. Riley is FBR, by the way. Yeah, I think B. Riley. So two analysts, excuse me on that one. But the beautiful thing about this company, I'm going to go over some of their numbers. Their revenue grew 114% in 2019, yet was trading at a very high single digit EBITDA multiple at the time. Then what happened since 2019 is obviously COVID came and the revenues just continued to explode. The company recently issued market guidance of $100 million in sales in 3 years, with EBITDA margins of over 30%. Their sales in 2019 were 30 million, and their EBITDA was 8.4 million. So they are growing exponentially massively. They are growing exponentially massively. Fundamentally, based on my own due diligence, I think the company is very cheap at the moment. It almost seems illogical for how underrated this is, but the only logic behind this company that I'm about to show you is that it's only been trading here in the United States of America for 9 days. They revealed they were on their IPO, they were able to raise 62.4 million, which is significantly more than it initially anticipated. Now, you want to know the cute thing about opening 9 days ago? And I'm going to say something that sounds obvious. 9 days ago is May 7th. Companies only do this when they're expecting explosive growth to move their company from a different exchange to another. Or tell me why on earth a company would want to move to the United States during this COVID crisis. Why would they want their shares listed in the US? So, with that being said, on the company here, uh, they were just basically able to come inside the US and garner just massive attention. I humbly believe that with gaming sales increasing in terms of gaming and internet gaming, I mean, if you literally look like at just actual video games like Activision and Blizzard have been rallying massively. You're not going to find many 60, 70, and 80 and 90-year-olds, for example, that are really interested in playing a real-time strategy game like StarCraft or playing a Dota 2 or a World of Warcraft, God forbid. You're not going to see a lot of people looking to play games like that outside of the younger generation as a generalization. Instead, they're going to opt for more gambling games, more online slot machines, etc. This company takes the outsourcing from these casinos and helps them deliver these games to their end user. If you feel like there are going to be other people and other companies and other corporations in the United States which want to offer legal gambling to their end consumer on their cell phones, I believe this company could potentially explode. So the company I'm talking about, of course, is GAN. It's GAN. It's GAN Limited, and the interesting thing about this company is it just literally opened up. It's holding above you. You don't have many moving averages up. Obviously, you see an exponential 8 up because it's 9 days old. The all-time high was made at 1585. I'm thinking that if you're able, once you're able to get above 14.99, let's call it 15 bucks, just to be 1 penny less exact. If you could get through 15 bucks here, I think you can have an easy stop under 13.96 or about $1 risk. And I would look for a move to $20, which would be pretty much 5 to 1 in your favor. I think it's an excellent risk reward. It's a name that, I would consider buying on pull-ins and things like that. But pretty much, if you start getting above $15, I could see, the next step 17 to 18 bucks followed by 20. And it's just one of those names that have been thriving, a name under the radar. People, you see, the funny thing in the United States, which confuses people, is people get unfortunately correlated between casinos and companies like this. This company has nothing to do with the huge failing real estate fortresses that casinos are housed in. This company isn't paying any obnoxious rent. They don't have a million hotel rooms. They're the people trying to get you to gamble on your phone. And they are helping. They don't even run their own casino. Their business is to help other clients transfer their business online through payment and gambling to the end user. And that is something that is phenomenally important. That is absolutely phenomenally important in this current environment. And given that the stock is new, I think a lot of people are confused because they look at a JAN and it's again just 9 days old. And they'll look at, for example, like a Wynn Resort. And let me just pull up a easier to see chart. They'll just pull up like a Wynn Resorts over here and they'll say, "Oh, well, look how beaten up like Wynn Resorts is." This thing prior to the whole COVID drop was like 130 bucks. It dropped down to $35 and now is at 70. Or you could look at an MGM and see something similar or a CZR. Oh, they were taken out? No, right? Yeah. Caesars. You could look at a Caesars very beaten up as well. You could look at a Las Vegas Sands, LVS, very beaten up as well. And you see companies like GAN, and you're like, well, what exactly happened here? And it's platforms like this which are going to help the casinos come back and reach out to you. In my opinion, I don't know if you guys have seen what a quarantine casino looks like. Look, honestly, I enjoy casinos. I go to them if maybe once every 1, 2, or 3 years, I will step inside a casino, play around with 300 to 500 bucks, play a little poker, have fun, usually make a little bit of money, and leave. And that is usually my enjoyment in a casino. But inside the casino now, what they're doing is they're literally setting up like quarantine tables where people are going to be like separated from each other. They're going to be separated from each other. And it's going to be kind of hard to play dealer games when people are separated because A, you're touching the cards that everyone else is. So they're literally going around and disinfecting machines. You're going to have a much easier time quarantining people inside a slot machine. You're going to have an easier time quarantining people, like social distancing is what I mean by quarantine, separating them, quarantining them from other people around them. You're going to have that social distancing procedure much easier to do with a slot machine. Companies like GAN, that's exactly what they do most, is help people connect through these slot machines through like video things, even if it's video poker and whatnot. This is the company that's going to allow people to get into that addicted, let me press the spin reel button on my phone and utilize this. And what my opinion is, my thesis is you're going to see these casinos because nobody wants to fly anymore. I mean, honestly, how many of you are going to jump and take a flight as soon as the quarantine ends? I mean, some people are like, yes, I'm dying to get out of here. Most people are not. Most people do not want to be in an enclosed space with other people trapped. When you're in an airplane, you're trapped. You're in the air whether you like it or not once you lift off, and people are not going to be comfortable with that. I think the place people are going to initially be comfortable with is restaurants and whatever. So I think you're going to have these companies like MGM, Wynn, LVS, etc. They're going to be increasing their online presence massively. They're already talking about the World Health Organization, which I don't want to go into the politics of it, but the science part of it, it's one of the stupidest things I've ever heard in my entire life. It's up there. It's like fighting for position. It's like trying to edge its way in, saying that there's going to be a huge disastrous second wave of coronavirus. They might be right. I hope they're wrong, but to make a prediction like that when 2% of viri mutate into something worse is a very bold statement. Again, could happen. 2% is 2%. I'm not saying it won't happen, but they're saying it is going to happen. So when you are sitting there listening to the World Health Organization claim that this virus is going to cause us a second wave, you're going to have companies like LVS, MGM, and Wynn, which are teetering in the depths of hell, trying to climb out of this fiery, immoral pit, which, casino gambling is highly considered immoral. They're going to try to be climbing out of this pit. So I believe that these casinos are going to massively ramp up their online presence. I believe there's going to be other companies who want to take advantage of the casinos and the inevitable lack of attendance they're going to have. And I believe that they're going to be pushing these games online even harder than ever. And as more and more states legalize it, more and more states are going to be able to legalize it because what do you think the armpit of America, excuse me, I mean the great state of New Jersey, what do you think they're going to do? And by the way, I'm in New Jersey. That's why I have to shower 8 times a day because I breathe the air here. What do you think the great state of New Jersey is going to do when Atlantic City isn't bringing in as much revenue anymore? You think they're going to make it harder to online gamble or easier? You think the legislation is more likely to push through or not get pushed through? Right now, states are scrambling for money. They don't know what to do. People are having issues paying their taxes. They're going to be looking for legal sources of revenue from wherever they can. Other states, in my humble opinion, are going to be looking for legal sources of revenue from wherever they can because of the issues that we're currently suffering from. And God forbid there is a second wave of coronavirus. And God forbid that happens. That's even a bigger reason why these companies should push through and try to, create their own online casinos for people to play with. And guess what? There is going to be one company that's going to be able to successfully capitalize, in my opinion, on that entire influx of potential disaster and current, disaster that is happening, and that is GAN Limited. How about some algo levels for you guys for tomorrow's? Right there. Screenshot it, copy it, do what you want. And there is something else I got to share with you. So, we had an open house this week. And we have the best open houses here at T3. We get to really show people what the Newsbeat live room has evolved to. The truth is, we are much different today than we ever were. And it wouldn't surprise me whenever it happens in the future, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, I evolve again. I am constantly evolving with what we do here in the Newsbeat live room to take care of the current environment. We've been catching some really nice news flow. The opportunities have been great. I'm making money very consistently, so are a lot of people around us. And it's just really a blessing. And from the bottom of my heart, I did want to thank you. I'm putting together a charity episode here. I was supposed to do it tonight. I got stuck with a 5 and a 1-year-old, which, by the way, are for sale on eBay right now. Dollar minimum bid, no limit, no minimum, no, what is it, the minimum requirement? Just $1 starting bid. I even offer free shipping on them. So if you guys want a couple boys, a couple Melnicks, potential future day traders, love their parents, could take care of you in the future. Just I'll post my eBay listing later, but point being, yes, it's really thanks to people like you that make the T3 Live Newsbeat Room T3 Live's #1 trading room. I'm so humbled and honored that you guys see the value that we actually provide, and for that reason, I will always continue to work harder and harder for you to always try to make sure that I can help you on your path to get to where you want to be as a day trader. So, again, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. If you enjoyed this content, please leave a thumbs up. If you enjoy these videos with more swing trade ideas from me, let me know. You guys dictate it. Smack the thumbs up if you liked it, and I would be honored and humbled to provide more of this type of information for you. If I get enough thumbs up, I'll put it this way. If I get 200 thumbs up, I will share with you an earnings stock in which I think is going to gap up minimum $60 this week. Hint, Booking, Google, Amazon are not reporting, so it's not going to be some $1,000 name. So I think there's going to be a name that's going to gap up massively this week. and I'll share it with you guys if you like this sort of swing stuff. But make sure you mash the thumbs up. And again, from the bottom of my heart, and on behalf of the Newsbeat live team, I want to thank you for making our room T3's #1 trading room destination. Means a lot to me. We worked really hard to get here, and all I can tell you is we're going to continue to work hard to um, continue continue to impress you. So thank you very much. Happy trading, make money. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning.